Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming and spending an hour with me as we talk about what is white time. And this is going to be a fun presentation. And I have planned on the format as follows. I will do a brief introduction about white time healing. And then I will open the floor to some of the practitioners who are present, who I have trained over the past years. And then we'll go into a Q&A, and then also into the offers, the opportunities to learn and to sign up for these classes. So let's just dive right in. Okay. I'm going to do a little gesture here that some of you might recognize. And I am taking the cues, and I am creating the sacred space for this talk. So let's all take a few deep breaths. And be grateful for ourselves, be grateful for our curiosity, and be grateful for this experience we're about to have together. And I am going to surround each of us individually with spheres of white and gold light that only beings and energies of love, light, truth, and manifestation may enter. And I'm also going to create a larger sphere surrounding all of us, creating the sacred space for our free talk this evening. So, welcome. This is What is White Time and Free Talk. I'm Bradford Tilden. I am a level 4 Universal White Time Gemstone Healing Teacher and a level 3 Universal White Time Energy Healing Teacher. My business is called Crystal Music Healing, and my website is Crystal Music Healing. My Facebook page is Crystal Music Healing, but my YouTube channel is Muse of Aquarius. And I used to tell the story of how I connected with white time, but I had the opportunity to write and publish the story, which is chapter 19 in this book that's available on Amazon called The Energy Medicine Solution. This is a national best-selling book, and it's a really, really fantastic read. This is Shani Shah West. She is the head ambassador for the Earth for Universal White Time. And this is her current headshot. She lives in Sweden. I met Shani on my 40th birthday. It was a very synchronous thing. I didn't know that she was there, but I was in Tucson. And when I met her in person, she actually sang happy birthday to me in Swedish, and it was on my 40th birthday at a metaphysical center. And this is a picture of Shani and myself. And during that same gathering, I connected with both Kitty Marachi, who is the woman on the left, who was the head White Time Gemstone healing teacher from 1998 to 2021, and she lives in Aptos, California. The woman in the center her name is Sally Troutner, and her title is Assistant Head Teacher for the Energy Healing, and she lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I studied level 4 energy healing with Sally and became a level 1 and level 2 energy healing teacher with Sally. Zari Parosta is one of the 2 supreme teachers in the United States and the head gemstone healing teacher from June of 2021 to the present. She lives in Fort Collins, Colorado, and this picture was taken when I flew out there to become initiated as a level 4 gemstone healing teacher this past summer solstice. She is an incredible woman. So leading the way, Kitty, Zari, and I are currently the only approved Universal White Time Gemstone teachers in North America. And Zari and I were actually classmates in the levels 1 through 3 Gemstone teacher training that took place on October 29th, 2007. And here on the right is my official diploma, making me a Gemstone teacher, levels 1, 2, and 3 of Universal White Time healing. And that was a major accomplishment, and becoming a level 4 almost 20 years later. It's been a long time coming, but it was definitely worth the journey. So Shawnee received this knowledge from extraterrestrials, from her guides and masters, initially when she was a child, and she first taught Kitty and Zari in 1998 when she first traveled to the United States. I studied with Kitty and Zari beginning in 2006 to the present, and I've actually since then studied higher level classes directly with Shawnee starting in 2021 to the present. So this is your opportunity to become a pioneering practitioner in this incredible modality. This is a global map. It's a voluntary global map that highlights the location of all of the approved, certified, and initiated White Time healing practitioners and teachers. And this, you can go to this website and interact with it. The website's up on the right. It's www.uwth.org. And the different colors and numbers indicate the different levels of training. There are 4 levels of the energy healing course, and there are 4 levels of the Gemstone healing. Yeah, oops, let's see. So, all right, real quickly, what's happening and why? So there is something called the grand cycle. You might have heard of it in the Vedic traditions, and it's a 250,000 year cycle. And we are, if you look at the cycle down here, it actually illustrates where we are in the present day, right at the bottom left of that wheel. And you can see the red stuff, the Kali. Kali is the Kali Yuga. It is the darkest time. It is the point where our solar system is the farthest from the galactic core on our solar system's elliptical orbit around the center of the galaxy. And the ancients knew of these grand cycles. And right now we have rounded that corner, and we are unconditionally heading back towards the light. We are returning to the light. Light will prevail, at least for the next 125,000 years. So light, of course, is consciousness. And we have been running on low battery mode. Only 2 of our 12 DNA strands stayed active in that period of darkness as a species. As the cosmic energy increases, our DNA comes back online, and this brings opportunity and also challenges. So today, the amount of cosmic life force is increasing. Human consciousness is experiencing a shift, a collective awakening and conscious ascension. The power of crystal healing is becoming more perceptible, more tangible, and more crucial for people to sustain their balance, energy, and life force as we integrate higher chakras and vibrate at a progressively higher rate. The increase in energy equals an increase in sensitivity. As we evolve spiritually, we are given access to more power and higher frequencies to work with. So this chart here just sort of demonstrates the spiritual growth of humanity. Right around the surface of the globe, that is the natural human healing ability, which can be, I visualize it as this sort of yellow glow there we go. That yellow glow that reached and increased steadily right until 1970, which was when Yusui Ryoko was first contacted and given the Reiki initiations by some higher beings on a mountaintop. And Reiki has since grown to basically blanket the planet with the Reiki energy because there are so many Reiki practitioners now. But it is known that Reiki actually has a limit to the capacity in which it can expand. You can only grow so far within Reiki. And in 1994, that's when Shani was given permission by the higher beings to first start teaching and initiating people into white time healing. So the white time, as you'll come to know, doesn't have a limit. There is no glass ceiling. There's no limit to how much you can grow. It's very, very exciting. So the white time healing was created by higher beings. There is no limit to growth with white time, meaning you won't reach a capacity. Every time you use your white time energy, you actually increase up a step of spiritual evolution and healing power. White time has some really interesting features, some of which are the incredible reality that it works with all time as one unit, the past, the present, and the future. That's where it gets its title, white time. Much like white, the color white has all color, and the white noise has all sound frequencies. So in addition to time, white time has all the colors and frequencies as well. And it also contains advanced knowledge of gemstone frequencies. Some benefits for white time is that it improves the quality of life. People simply become happier. Latent skills and abilities flourish. Things seem to work out in the best ways possible. Practitioners have an added protection against negativity and psychic attacks. Again, there is no limit to how high you evolve spiritually or grow as a healer. Okay. So that's my basic introduction. And I want to say a few comments here. And then I want to go into the practitioner testimonials. And here's some pictures of our class photos and things. And I take a serious picture and a silly picture. These are some silly ones. So I'm going to stop the share for a minute and welcome everyone. Some of you joined us late. That's a basic introduction. And I just personally, white time really has become a way of life for me. I use white time techniques from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. I turn the white time distance healing powers on at night. I use the gemstones constantly. I have a new appreciation for all life on this planet. Everything has become more alive and more interactive and more joyful. My personal journey has been a difficult one. I exploded and had a spiritual awakening and accelerated in the trainings, and I realized it was my life purpose. And then it was all pretty much snatched away when I didn't take care of my physical body, and I almost died of a opportunistic infection that attacked my brain. And that was when I was 30 years old, and I spent the past my 30s healing and recovering from that. And it was white time healing that pulled me out of the trench. And I believe it was white time healing that kept me tethered to my body when it was a 50-50 chance that I could have died. I believe that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for white time. And it's a very sacred and profound energy that is an honor to work with. And I have the utmost respect for the energy, for the knowledge, for the teachers, and also for all of the practitioners I've trained. It's a very, very special modality. And the higher beings actually look for potential people and guide them to start receiving the education. White time will bring out your unique gifts, and the higher beings of white time want you to maximize the offering of your unique gifts that you manifested here during this time of change to contribute to humanity's growth and to the healing collectively and individually of karma, of ancestral healing, and all of that. And white time gives you huge, huge advantage to overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's white time. I could talk forever about it, but I do want to turn it over to some of the wonderful practitioners that I've had the honor to teach and to initiate. All right, Jackie, unmute yourself, please.
Hey, Bradford. Well, all I can say is that for me personally, again, it really has opened up my own individual spiritual growth, so that I have become more confident in the messages that I have gotten. And those messages have become more frequent and louder, if you will. I just got the level 4. I still got to say that, right? Level 4, really? Gemstone healing, which was, that is the light bulb that went on. And now I'm like, oh my God, I got to get my room ready. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm excited. However, that experience of going 4 days of all the initiations, all the layouts, all the interactions, all the communication, just the community and the sharing and being with like-minded people, what an experience. You can't get that anywhere else. I just feel like I found my people. And I really thank you for that. I really do. I'm excited. I've got support, finally, somewhere I can go and be accepted. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. It was a pleasure having you in class. I remember you asked me what you could do with your mother and her. Do you mind me talking about this?
Go right ahead. I just muted. Go ahead.
Because it was such an, you would ask me, you know, what I could do to help you, and I said, well, just use distance healing. And so I remember you did, and then you got back to me and you started telling me how it was like your mother was just a different person, and how smoothly the transition went. And do you want to, could you speak a little bit about that? Because distance healing, you learn it in the level 1 class.
So I love distance healing. I just find that, because you brought up Catholic, and what do? You pray. And this is a little bit more in depth, more hands-on, so to speak, distantly, if that's a word. And it works. It really does. So now there's more advanced levels of distance healing that I just think is the best. I've already ordered journals. I've got my things. I'm starting to get set up so that I'm getting in position. I'm starting to see, like my visions become clearer now. And I'd have to say that is really since Universal White Time, because I always had the inkling, but not really like, oh, okay, well, maybe. Now I have more of a vision of where I fit in. So yes, with Mom and crossing over, we've had, in my circle of friends and community here where I live, a number of people have been crossing over in the last couple of months. And it seems like, well, I don't want to say, but like a lot of people reach out to me, just letting me know. And they know that I use people's terms that they're comfortable with, even though it's distance healing. So I'll say I pray for them, but it's really the distance healing. Of course, I ask the individual, whether it's in person or spiritually, if they want distance healing. I get their permission. But in any case, it's just a wonderful experience. I really have had a lot of great feedback from, because I keep getting more requests. So I guess that means something's working, right?
Thank you. It's an honor to listen to you, and I thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You make us excited, right? I can feel the energy. I can feel it. Like I pick up on it and go, oh my God, yes, I want to do it. And then I come home and go, oh my God, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. It's like almost bedtime. I gotta calm down.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Yeah.
For showing me the way.
You're welcome. Would anyone else like to share? Oh yeah, Pat. Just unmute yourself. Yep.
Yeah, I had to find it first. Well, I'm really looking forward to you coming and teaching level 3 in the spring. I'm super excited, and I know Sandra is too.
Yes.
And I just want to say that other than on myself, since I took level 1 and 2 last year, haven't really done much. But setting that aside, the spiritual expansion that's been ongoing since then is mind-blowing at times. 2 friends and I have opened a spiritual wellness business. And when you come in the spring, you're going to come see our space if I have to drag you away. And one of the things I'm offering there is White Time Gemstone healing. And this week, a friend of mine and my 2 fellow business owners are experiencing gemstone healing for the first time. And then starting next month, Sandra and I plan on doing it on each other. We haven't figured out the frequency, of how often we're going to do it, but we're going to be practicing different layouts on each other going forward. So we're excited about that. And I'm excited to see, because I think the thing that has gotten to me is doing it on other people. We get to experience it at the same time. So we're growing exponentially each time we treat someone. And I'm excited because I'm going to be the first hands-on White Time Gemstone practitioner in Penticton for now, unless Sandra joins me. So I'm all excited about that.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I got a little emotional just knowing that you've had such a profound spiritual response to the work. It changed my life when here it is. When I first connected to the energy of one of the layouts, the layout of the central sun, which is taught in level 4, it nourished my soul in a way that couldn't be nourished from any earth-based source, because it was the vibration of the central sun of the universe. And as a starseed who decided, yeah, I'll come here and help, I was completely disconnected from universal energies that nourished my soul. And that's really what it made it okay for me to be here. And it gave me that first spark of strength and of courage and of hope to persevere. And dedicating my life to that, and to being able to offer the opportunity for these energies and this knowledge to be received by others, and however it affects them. And so when I hear your story of this spiritual growth that's ongoing and exponential, it moves me, because in a sense, I've done my job, and it's confirmation and validation that this is just a really special thing that we work with, and anyone who has taken a class knows what I'm talking about. So thank you very much, Pat, and I can't wait to see your new space, and I can't wait to give you a hug in person. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And just so you know, after level 3, 2025, 2026, my husband and I plan a road trip to Connecticut for me to take level 4.
Oh.
My guides have been saying you're doing it.
Okay. So. Maybe you'll have a passenger on that. Also on the Zoom right now. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I've traveled all over the world to learn this stuff, or all over the States anyway. It's nice to have people finally travel to me.
I've never been to Connecticut, so it's an excuse.
Nice. Just don't come in the winter.
No.
Let's actually, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to segue to Sandra. And Sandra could maybe mention a few things. And Sandra is the reason that I have come to Penticton, to British Columbia, and will return. And Sandra, from my experience, has just opened up in beautiful, exciting ways that I was able to witness her reawakening to her connection with crystals. So, and it was just really great to see. But so hi, Sandra.
So what do you want me to share?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, I remember that when you first started experiencing the energies, you said something aligns that it created permanent change. And
Oh yeah. Okay. So the first time that I received a gemstone session with Bradford, and this was before I decided to bring him here, it like permanently opened the energy at the top of my head. And then the next session, like permanently changed the energy coming out of my hands. And this is what led me to bring him to British Columbia, Canada to teach. And like Bradford was saying, I didn't really have a relationship with gemstones before. They were kind of just objects. And now they talk to me and they, create layouts. And I have a relationship with my guides now that I didn't before. Before, I just receive intuitive information, but I wasn't actually asking the guides. And I started asking the guides and started getting like way more information about people and their purpose. So it really opened things up for me. And sometimes the guides direct me to do things that I didn't learn from Bradford. And one of the things that we learned in Gemstone Healing Level 2 is how to open Heaven's Gate portals. And for those of you who, are in, Gemstone Healing, you may know about this. And recently, the guides directed me to create Heaven's Gate portals remotely. And I talked to the guides as like, is this what you want me to do? Because that's not how I learned to do it. You have the stones and you go in. And they said, yeah, they wanted me to do it. And they showed me what I was doing, what to do. And I didn't even tell Bradford I was going to do it until after it was done. And it so worked. It was amazing. So getting involved with Universal White Time and doing the gemstone work has opened up new capacities for me.
thank you very much, Sandra. Yes, and that reminds me, one of the other benefits of and features of enrolling in the gemstone healing classes is you're literally assigned a minimum of 3 mastered gemstone and crystal guides from the universe. They could be extraterrestrials, they could be angels, light beings, ascended masters, but whatever the case, they are your guides for the rest of your life. And my guides immediately they contacted me, they connected with me. First of all, they encouraged me to take all of the classes that I could, that my teacher was allowed to teach within 1 year of time, to go 0 to 60. But also they've encouraged me to do so many other things. And I remember I spoke with my former teacher, and she was like, what, you're making gemstone layouts? And she didn't really support me, and I thought that was weird. Maybe that's, anyway. But then when I met Shawnee in person, I said, my guides wanted me to make layouts. Is that okay? And she's like, of course. And then, I remember that White Time, the classes are taught. You will go to any White Time teacher anywhere in the world, and you will be given the same information, no matter if it's Shawnee or if it's someone like, 7 people down the line. It's the same information. It's preserved. The integrity is preserved. It's important, but it's designed to open you up in your individual expression and amplify your gifts. There's really nothing wrong that you can do in White Time. It gives you this sense of limitless confidence. And Sandra, just as you connected with your guides and they said, do this, and you listened and it was successful, you don't need to ask my permission. No one needs to ask permission when you come from love and you come from light. And when you're working, under the umbrella of White Time. So it's very beautiful, and yeah, I'm waiting on the answer from Shawnee to get that stamp of approval for being able to open those portals via distance. So thank you so much. One more person who's a practitioner like to share. Lauren.
So for me, my journey with this was that I had been a Reiki practitioner for 10 years and I taught it, and I would often feel called to use crystals during those Reiki sessions. But beyond intuitively placing them, I didn't have much more information. And when I met Brad and heard about the Universal White Time Gemstone healing, I thought, well, this ought to be interesting. And frankly, when you're stumbling around trying to figure something out on your own, and then you run into someone who says, okay, just do it this way, and everything opens up and it starts making sense to you, it's a real epiphany for you. And that's what happened with me with the gemstone healing. It changed my whole experience with crystals. My knowledge of them expanded exponentially, and my connection with them and with the guides really just exploded. Before that, it was kind of a mumble in the background, and now it's not. And when I did the Universal White Time healing, it was everything that I felt Reiki kind of lacked. In the 10 years that I did Reiki, I felt like I was running into the boundaries of what Reiki could do. And this completely opened it up and was far more in alignment with what my intuition was while I was practicing Reiki. So this for me was just next level of both. And now, just having finished the level 4 gemstone, oh boy. So even if you never do healing on another person, this expands everything for you, and it changes your personal life. Now, if you take that and in some way you use that to help someone else in whatever form that is, then we all benefit from it. And that is why I've been taking this on the road. I've been going down to Nashville doing gemstone healing sessions, and in February, Brad and I are going to go down, and he's going to teach the level 1 and start spreading it, because this is the next level. This is where we're at, and it's so beautiful. It's really difficult to come up with words for it. So thank you, Brad, for bringing this to all of us.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Just taking in your words. Yeah, it's about spreading the awareness, spreading the energy, spreading the joy of crystals. Yeah, there's a lot more energy healing teachers in White Time than there are gemstone healing teachers, and I think there's a few reasons for that, but I'm the one. my purpose is to spread this knowledge, and to be able to bring it to Nashville, to bring it to British Columbia, to bring it to Ohio. I think I'll let Tracy say a few words if she wants. She's we've known each other for years, and I'm starting to bring it to Ohio and anywhere really. It's about, just like you said, it's not about necessarily doing this professionally. It's about your own transformation and your own expansion in your own life, and the resonant field of transformation that occurs around you with those that you know. It's this beautiful process of unfolding and awakening. So I don't mean to put you on the spot, Tracy, but do you want to say a few words? After
Okay.
you. So
All right, well, I'm not exactly sure what to say, but I appreciate what Lauren, you said about how even if you don't even practice on other people, like it's still working and it's still a benefit. Yeah, Bradford and I met a long time ago, and he definitely opened up my eyes to possibilities of healing and other things that I didn't have in my life. Just like Jacqueline, I was raised in a Catholic family, right? So, like, who knew about spirituality? And around the time that I met Bradford was kind of my spiritual awakening, and I learned gemstones. I took like a workshop with gemstones, and I I've always liked crystals. I've always liked astrology, but using crystals as a tool for healing really like gets me excited, right? Like I'm very excited about using something so simple. Like I love simple things that heal. And that's what I love about the gemstone healing things. It's such an easy thing to do to help yourself or other people. I have not experienced white time energy healing yet, so I'll get initiated in level 1 this March, but so I don't know exactly what that's all about. And it blows my mind that white time, there's no limit to it, right? Like it's coming from these universal beings and technology from that. Like that to me blows my mind. Like my human mind can't fathom what that's all about. But I just think it's really cool. I'm also I do Seraphim Blueprint. So this was something I never did Reiki, but Seraphim Blueprint was something that I've done. And I think what combining the Seraphim and the white time, it's like this beautiful marriage of energy that just is amazing. So that's what I got. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, thank you. So yeah, let's switch to question answer. So you say there's a question?
Yeah, there's just one. Nancy's got a question. How
Okay.
white time healing different from Reiki?
Ah, yes. We actually discussed some of the differences in the level 1 energy healing course. Right off the bat, the initiation is different. The initiation for Reiki sort of wraps around the crown chakra and opens the person up to connect with more of the earth energies. And so that when they are giving a healing, they're not using their own life force energy. They're drawing primarily from the earth to give it the extra energy to heal. And when you evolve spiritually, your crown actually starts to widen. And because of the way that the Reiki initiation is, it basically binds the crown chakra and limits its growth, which is why a lot of people, they progress to Reiki master level and then they kind of lose interest, or they just feel like they're or they start getting intuitive guidance to do other things that weren't in the wheelhouse of Reiki. So that's, and Reiki also works with one color ray. And I don't believe that Reiki has the capacity to reach through time, nor for influencing situations or other people or other places or environments that could be contributing to the challenge or the person that needs the healing. So white time, first of all, it comes from a source that enters into this universe near the central sun. It's called the white time, the tunnel, and it's like a ring of light near the central sun of the universe, which is essentially a portal that imbues this universe with its life force. So the ray of white time extends far beyond, outside the reaches of this universe, and it comes down and it channels. And what a white time healer, one of the initiations you receive in the level 1 energy is actually connecting what we call the funnel to your crown chakra, which is basically like a rain catcher. And every time, so let's just say your funnel starts here, right? You capture this amount of healing force. Every time you use your powers, your funnel expands, and you can receive more and more and more of that universal life force that allows you to heal stronger, deeper, more effectively, and also to accelerate your spiritual growth, because the funnel will just continue to expand. There's no limit. That's what we mean when there's no limit. And white time, the initiations come with very, very strong protections that are sanctioned by the highest spiritual beings of the Universal Alliance of Light in this universe. These are the beings that govern white time and that shepherd us as practitioners of it and protect us, the white time beings. And so you can't ever, I've never been psychically attacked. Since I did white time, I'm able to pull entities out of people without risk. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to the novice, but to the beginning practitioner, but you just have these resources that are extremely powerful light and love forces that they don't destroy, but they just transform. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but just the feeling of it. And of course, white time also, it does reach outside of time. And so, like, say you're healing someone, but they have a very bad relationship with their husband or something, the white time can actually positively influence that relationship, or it can go and it can somehow affect the environment or influence people to come on their own initiative to improve the environment that's challenging for the person who's receiving the white time. So it's not limited to the giver and recipient. It's more quantum in the sense that it reaches wherever it needs to go. And those are just some of the differences between Reiki and white time. And I hope that answers the question. I don't want to dive too deep into that. Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. Yeah, we talk a lot about that in the first level of the nature of white time and the uses and the effects of it. So yes, yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So Shauna has raised her hand. Yes.
So would you say that for Starseeds, white time healing is more connected to them than Reiki healing?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Even though Reiki was given from higher beings, it is still very much tied in with the Earth's energy. Whereas white time does take a little bit of Earth energy, but it blends it with the universal energy. And like I was talking with about receiving that first layout, it's a deep soul recognition of familiarity for starseeds who work, who have been felt disconnected and struggling and not feeling like they belong here, and that sort of disconnection is reconnected, and that emptiness is filled. Of course, all humanity descended from star beings and the early civilizations, and all the indigenous cultures, have their origin stories coming from stars. So that remembrance of that connection is within the DNA of all human beings, not necessarily including the starseeds who are, of extraterrestrial origin, who incarnated and they're in human bodies for the first time at this time to assist us with the ascension and the healing. But yeah, it's very much very positive support for starseeds.
Lori asked, what's the difference between the white time energy healing versus the white time gemstone healing? Is one better or stronger than the other?
Great question. They are complementary. There's some cross reference of some of the gemstone layouts that appear in the energy healing trainings. There are some gemstone layouts that appear in one of the energy healing courses that doesn't appear in the gemstone classes. The main difference is that you in the energy healing, you receive that funnel and you actually become a white time practitioner, and you start working with the frequency of white time. Now, gemstones have an inherent energy and essence about them, and they are healing on their own accord, The knowledge of the philosophy of white time is what happens when they're combined in certain ways, and how does that affect the body. So anyone can have the information of how to perform, let's say, the basic layout. And in level 1 gemstone healing, anyone off the street can place the stones on a person, and that person will receive some form of healing simply because of the vibrational properties of those crystals and their interaction. However, the white time gemstone practitioners have a lot more than just the stones. They have their guides. And I was giving someone a treatment who had blood clots in their legs, and I was using the blood layout, and I was simply standing at the bottom of the table holding my hands on their feet, and they said the room filled with very tall blue beings that started putting tablets of dissolving tablets in her body, and then her clots actually disappeared. Now, someone who walks off the street won't have that connection with those beings. So when you become a white time gemstone practitioner, you got those 3 master guides at your back. And when you become an energy healing practitioner, you have the flow of the healing power within you. So when you combine the 2 of them, it's a whole different ballpark of fabulosity, to use the word. So usually people start with one and ultimately will go with another. I didn't really focus so much on the energy healing when I was younger. But the gemstone healing I would utilize, but I do sound. So instead of, I did become a level 3 energy healing practitioner in 2008. So I reached level 3 practitioner for that, but I became a level 3 teacher for the gemstone healing. And it was, I didn't really start using the protocols for the energy healing until I actually became a teacher, because I revisited and I relearned it. And after the level 4 energy healing class I had an experience that was one of the 2 peak experiences. The one was the first gemstone layout that I received for the central sun, and this was a meditation that we do that connects you with the beyond, which is what we call outside of this universe, where the original ray of white time comes. And that experience in itself stopped me in my tracks and said, this is really, really major. And of course, I was still pulling myself out of the illness and the trauma and the self-medication with substances. That was a very, very challenging diversion to my spiritual path for the first part of my 30s. And it was white time that had the power to help me overcome those things. So there's really, but I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but the main difference really is that in the energy healing, you're connected with the force of white time and you get those protections. And in the gemstone healing, the initiations that are included open you up and remove blockages that connect you with the consciousness of crystals. It's in a way that you can never learn from a book, or never learn or never develop. Well, maybe you could over time, but it would take years and years and years to develop the same connection as you would get just by getting that initiation in a half an hour. And so those are, it's really a personal preference as to how you want to progress with your education. And it's fine to just do the gemstone healings, and it's fine to just do the energy healings. You don't have to take both of them, but most people want to take both of them. So, and one more thing about the initiations that is important. So we all inherit certain blockages as humans incarnating on this planet, which is the main reason why most of us can't access our past lives, right? We can't have full recall of our past lives. So that's just one example of the type of blockages, that sort of collective amnesia. One of those blockages is being able to connect with crystals in a more immediate way, or the ability to fully see auras, right? Some people are born with the gift because they don't have that blockage, but most people carry these blockages as collective. And these initiations remove specific blockages that allow us to connect with specific abilities that we wouldn't otherwise be able to unless we spent years and years and years in meditation or performing healings. It's an acceleration of your growth, both spiritually and as a healer. So they're very important and very powerful. And that's why I've got this, I'm doing one of those upgrades for us at the end of this call. So yes, thank you for asking that question, Lori. Other question?
There's one more question from Sandra. How different is the white time healing funnel to the head different from the funnel that gets built with a Heaven's Gate portal?
The white time funnel is guides are answering this question. This is not a free talk question, but since you asked, you guys can see me working. The white time funnel is an active growing feature of your crown chakra now. You basically upgraded your crown chakra into something different, into something that expands. And the funnel for the Heaven's Gate is basically what you're doing is you're using your awareness to create that funnel, which is an isolated portal that connects with the central sun of the universe and down into the core of the earth, that is free from you. You're not connected to it. Once it's created, it's there. It's like a spotlight, right? And that spotlight is just a spotlight. No matter what you do to that spotlight, the light is not going to increase in size. So it's a stationary, concrete structure or portal, as you will. Yeah. And you can, of course, change the quality of it by putting different things in it. You can put stones in it. You can add signs to it. You can maybe change its character, but the fundamental difference is that is a pure portal that allows the angels and light beings to come through into our dimension from higher dimensions. Yeah.
So if I strengthen it by building another portal there, because you said I can do that, right? Does it get bigger, brighter?
I'd have to ask. I don't know if it amplifies. I think that the diameter is always the diameter. Yeah. What you could do is you could overlap the portals and make another one next to it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't have any more on the chat.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else who'd like to add something before I switch into what am I doing, where and when? Yes, Lauren.
Something else that when you were talking about the symbols and signs, getting introduced to this universal white time opens up so much more that you didn't even know really was available to you, like light language. So there's a whole new world that happens when you start delving into this universal white time. It's amazing.
Thank you. All right. I am going to switch this to sharing again. Oh, so here we have our friendly class photos. Some of these fine practitioners are on the call today. Down in the center there, we've got 4 level 4 practitioners. Okay, so then thank you all for sharing, and thank you for those great questions. So bonus offers. Yes, as a thank you for attending this free talk, I did promise some sort of bonus, and what I'm going to be giving is something called the Angel Board Spiritual Upgrade, and it's valued at $75. And just a side note, I have a whole slew of these different various spiritual upgrades that I can offer via distance that range in price from $75 to $125, and they can be repeated. And each time you get one of these upgrades, more and more of those blockages, well, I'm skipping ahead. So the Angel Board Spiritual Upgrade, which we'll do collectively at the end, will upgrade your frequency and inner vibration tremendously. I wanted to talk a bit about these spiritual upgrades. They are some of the highest spiritual forces available to work with on the planet. These spiritual upgrades are from a source of divine energy, even higher than that of white time. I offer these spiritual upgrades to help you accelerate your spiritual evolution towards total enlightenment and understanding of who you are and what your role is in the all of the universal design. Again, they remove blockages from above your aura, separating you from source consciousness. I have studied higher levels. There's higher, I guess, schools of knowledge than universal white time that Shani does offer for people. And I am planning on becoming a teacher of the Angel Board very soon. As I work with, most of you know, I work very extensively with angels through my voice, and this is just a no-brainer for me to be able to provide this level of education to people. These angel beings are even higher and greater than the archangels of this reality. It's just mind-blowing. So before I get too excited about this silliness, so because you have participated in this free talk by, giving me your time and attention, I'm also going to offer you another additional spiritual upgrade, which is valued at $125 from something called the Absolute Board of Knowledge. And that you will receive, or we can schedule and do that when you register for your first level 1 training. Because I'm a very generous person, if you're not able to make any of the upcoming ones I'm about to talk about, I'll remember that you participated. And so if you sign up for level 1 training in the fall or in next spring, I will still honor this and schedule a spiritual upgrade with you, because I absolutely love doing these and I love how they benefit you. And they're easy and they're fun, and I need people to, I need reasons to give them. So help me out. So any of the early bird registration bonuses I'm going to mention, you can lock in by pre-registering with a non-refundable $100 deposit before the early bird deadline. So my first upcoming, and this is just chronologically, I am doing an Introduction to Crystalline Gems online workshop. And this is a snapshot, a tip of the iceberg of what you will learn in the level 1 gemstone healing class, along with some fun twists that I threw in from my own education and experience with Lemurian seed crystals. This registration deadline is actually coming up really quickly. It's this Friday the 13th. This Friday's the 13th? No, Saturday the 13th. Saturday the 13th. Yeah. And the bonus that you get if you register for this workshop, because you were on this call, is I will give you a special gemstone initiation via Zoom at a later date. That's valued at $75. So if you want to get your feet wet and learn some stuff about stones, and you might not want to do the full plunge into the level 1 course, this is a good option for you, but you have to register by this Saturday, because I do have a small stone kit that I mail out, and I want to make sure you receive them in time. The next opportunity is the retreat in Nashville, or near Nashville, that Lauren is co-hosting and sponsoring. And that's where we're doing the level 1 gemstone healing at a beautiful retreat center called Queens Bluff Retreat Center in Clarksville, Tennessee. The early bird deadline for that is Saturday, January 13th. And again, the early bird bonus for that is another powerful and divine upgrade valued at $125. So you can conceivably get 2 of these spiritual upgrades, one for attending this class and one for registering by the early bird deadline. And the hard deadline to register for Nashville is Sunday, February 4th. So I'm not going to spend too much time on these, because my guides are telling me this is going to glaze over you guys' head. But in New England, I'm teaching the level 1 energy healing course the weekend of February 23rd to the 25th. And an early bird bonus, again, is a spiritual upgrade. I'm going to be emailing all of this information in a follow-up email along with the link for the video. So don't worry about jotting this stuff down, and don't worry about where is the link. Everything is going to be provided for. And thank you for registering. So that registration deadline is Sunday, February 18th. And then I'm going to be in Ohio. So if you know anyone in any of these areas, please feel free to forward them the video. But they're not getting these special bonuses for being on this call, but they do get the early bird bonus. It's a spiritual upgrade, and that deadline is this 22nd. So you get the drift. You get a spiritual upgrade if you register early for the energy healing courses. For the gemstone healing course, it's actually a monetary discount. So in March, the one that I'm teaching here in Connecticut, the tuition is $475 for early bird, and the early bird deadline is February 24th. The tuition increases to $600. So if you really want to take the level 1 course and you're not sure, lock in the $475 with that $100 deposit, or you'll be looking at an additional $125 tuition after Saturday, February 24th. And lastly, we have the British Columbia. All of these courses, including the level 3 gemstone healing, but there's only 2 people qualified to take it out there. But it's going to be taking place at a place called White Lioness Metaphysical Store. And the hard registration deadline is Monday, April 15th. I'm teaching level 1 gemstone, something called the level 1 supplement class, and then the energy healing course and the early bird. Now, if you know anyone in British Columbia and you register early, you'll actually get a second spiritual upgrade. So you can get 2, and then there's another early bird, etc., etc. I know it's confusing. Imagine me trying to figure it out. Okay, so all these dates and registration links will be sent in a follow-up email. All upgrades and initiations take place on Zoom. Are you ready to take your next step in your evolution? And lastly, I am always looking for new places to teach. Reach out to me if you would like to bring White Time to your local community. And this is me. Thank you very much. That's my higher self, Alhambria, Bahia, and my contact information. So that's a lot. That's what I'm doing this spring. I've got a raised hand, Shauna.
Oh, it's a while ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just lower it. Didn't know.
Well, my question was about when you do these upgrades and it increases our vibration. I have had times where my vibration has been too high for whatever my body or consciousness or whatever could handle. Does the White Time sort of know the limit of highness it can go?
That's a great question. These signs will actually, the signs that I'm going to send you, for example, for this upgrade we're going to start in a minute from the angel board, they actually hover above your crown until you're ready to integrate them. So there's almost like a time release if you're not physically, energetically, or spiritually ready to receive the shift. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's a great question. Thank you so much. So thank you so very much for being here on this call with me tonight. And I hope that you were inspired and informed, and that you take the step to embark upon this beautiful journey, this, I'll say, life-changing journey. I'm not going to say potentially, because it's life-changing in such a good way. So I'm going to open the floor for any final remarks from anyone. I don't know exactly how to close this. I'm just so grateful. I am just so grateful for everyone who came on and shared and was interested. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And please reach out to me if you have further questions or just to say hi or any reason at all, and share these opportunities with people that you think might be interested in them. So thank you so much. We're going to end. It's a pure pleasure to be here, and thank you.